Hey everyone, this is Alexander Concepcion with TacoStreetLocating.com. I have an apartment locating company that helps people rent apartments in Austin, Texas. So if you find this guide useful, check out my website TacoStreetLocating.com so I can help you find your next apartment. I've helped over 400 people over the last 6 years, and I'm completely free to work with. So in this video, I'm going to cover Central Austin. I'm recording this at the beginning of 2024, so that's when you're going to see some new buildings on the market. And this area I'm going to focus on is between University of Texas at the south end and the Crestview neighborhood on the north end. So if you're looking to be in the core of Austin and get better pricing than you would in downtown or East Austin, and you want to commute north, say to the Domain or Round Rock, but still want to have a good access to Austin, then this is going to be the neighborhood or set of neighborhoods that you're going to want to look at. So first, I'll start with a few buildings on the edge of Hyde Park. So Hyde Park is one of Austin's oldest neighborhood. I think it's the oldest neighborhood in the city, and it's mostly single-family residential houses. So you're not going to find a lot of apartments directly in Hyde Park. But here you have this little cluster of buildings right by the hospital and campus. So you have Aura 32, Sabina, Mark Uptown, and the Troubadour. They're all kind of the same building, just your standard mid-rise building along the highway. There's not a lot of compelling stuff in this specific area that's gonna give you like a nice walkable neighborhood energy. This neighborhood is going to be optimal if you need to get to campus or get to the hospital quickly. But if you're looking for a more neighborhoody experience, then I would look towards other neighborhoods like East Austin or downtown or even Mueller out over here. So this is more of a functional area than a classic living area. So here in the Triangle Zone, you have Gable Central Park, which is right by the hospital here. It's more flanked by more commercial stuff. Central Market, just a side tangent, is my favorite grocery store in Austin. It's got great stuff. If you're a cook like me, this is a great place to get really high end food. A lot of interesting stuff. So here in the Triangle area, which is kind of this master planned commercial zone with kind of some chain restaurants and like retail outlets. You're gonna have the residences at the Triangle. It's a little bit older than the Echo. The Echo is gonna be nicer in pretty much every metric, whereas the residences is going to be more of a garden style building. This area is like very walkable, but it's this kind of small center of gravity where outside this little pocket there's not much to walk to without having to cross some busy streets. Getting across the street, going into like Burnett, you have the Braxton, Burnett Flats, and the Emily 5350. I think now it's called the House 5350. Burnett Road here is actually a really underrated, cool street. A lot of cool shops, bars, and restaurants, but it's still more of a commuting street than a walkable neighborhood. But it is a cool spot to live. So along North Lamar, the main artery of Central Austin, you're going to have the Revel on Lamar. I'm not a big fan of this location. If you'll notice, it's right along West Koenig and Lamar. So it's kind of flanked by some really busy streets, and you're not really going to walk to anything around here. But the building is going to be like a standard modern luxury building. Right next to it, you have the West Koenig Flats, which is similarly nice and modern, but also still along this pretty busy street. Um, Over here, you're more into Hyde Park, the North Loop area, where this part is pretty residential. So even though West Koenig is busy, you can get some good neighborhood walks in this little area. You also have the Waller Creek side, which I think is going to be the oldest building I'm going to talk about here. I think some of the units don't have washers and dryers, but the pricing here tends to be very good for a slightly older complex. I like this building a lot because of the value that you get and proximity to everything. Here's a relatively new building, the Flora. I also don't really like this location because it's it's right next to Airport Boulevard and it's pretty busy. More of a You get the train tracks here, the busy street here, and just not a ton of interesting stuff to walk to. It's more of a driving around to get places, but it's worth knowing about. Then you have a much more newer cluster of buildings along the airport corridor. So there's Ella Park side, the 5 Chew, the Midtown High Line. These are all brand new buildings in the last probably 5 years. So it's really interesting for me to see them pop up in what used to be the old, it's like an old abandoned mall. It's not like a community college. Has a ton of stuff in this zone. So this is a really rapidly developing area, and you're gonna get some good pricing, good proximity to things. Got a really cool rock climbing gym here. Then further up, you have where Airport and Lamar meet. Fun fact, when I first moved here, I lived around this zone about 9 years ago. But you have St. John's West and the Johnny, both on St. John's Avenue. Next is really cool Crescent Shopping Mall district with a lot of super fun, like Asian, like a grocery store, ramen, sushi, Korean barbecue, Korean fried chicken. It's like a really great eating shopping mall. Right here around this area, you have one of the train stations, the Crestview train station, that takes you all the way to the Domain and to East Austin and to downtown on the other side. And you have this cluster of buildings, Midtown Commons, Crestview Commons, and the Avenue, Austin North Lamar. It's not a very good name, but whatever. So these are all 3 modern buildings. That's going to give you some mild walkability to this strip mall, walkability to this train station to get around Austin. But overall, this is still going to be an area you're going to want to have a car to get around. So I think we're almost done. Just to wrap up a few other places, you have the Pearl out here, really nice building in a more... it's still along Koenig, which is busy, but like this general area is pretty residential. I like it a lot. We went there already. Closer to 30 Mopac, you have these 3 buildings. You have the Carina and the Adler, are this cluster of 2 buildings in this specific zone. They're really, really nice. You have the MAA West. Both are along the highway. So if you need to get north and south from here, this is going to be a really good place to live. And this is a really nice, charming neighborhood of like Rosedale. That it's going to have some cozy neighborhood stuff and like really nice neighborhoods to walk around. So that about wraps up my guide on apartments in Central Austin. If you found this useful, please hit me up on my website, tacostreetlocating.com, so I can help you with your apartment search. Again, I'm totally free to work with, so I hope you found this video useful, and check out my YouTube channel if you want a lot of my other guides on other neighborhoods in Austin.